All right, we are recording with OBS, and we're gonna go back to Impound Comics, which I like to go to a lot, and we're gonna talk about facts DC fans need to accept. So this is gonna be interesting. Like I guess
That
the most one.
DC fans need to accept, which I got from Detective Comics. Let's get into
I
it
don't know what
and see
Detective
if I
Comics is,
agree
so give
or
them
disagree. To be clear,
shout out to.
before I start, I don't have a preference for Marvel or DC. I pick specific characters in each universe. They both have characters I like, both have characters I don't.
I don't know if that means he made the list or not, because he said I picked. But I will not lie. I'm a bigger Marvel fan than DC fan. But Batman is one of my higher superheroes up there. He's in my top five. Well, it'll knock out more Marvel characters. And then after Batman, it still falls in the Batman world. I like Red Hood a lot. When the guy from the real, people are too young to know this, but one of the first castmates in the real world, he ended up, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, he ended up writing the Red Hood story, and when he did it, it was kind of around the Winter Soldier time. It was good, but I got to have a chat with him, and I just from then on just loved the way they did Red Hood and how they've used them since. But then it's like after that, it's just, I don't know, too many people are like godly. Like I'm more like I would like, even on the picture behind, like I'd pick Green Arrow maybe out of all these people I'm seeing. People would probably go, oh, it's crazy. I like, Martian Manhunter. I think Martian Manhunter is cool, like unique stuff. But I don't know, like the whole God complex of a lot of the DC people. Now, villains is a different story, but a lot of them come from Spider-Man as well. I mean, sorry, not Spider-Man, Batman as well. But a lot of these villains in DC I like more than the superheroes half the time. But one of the, I mean, there's a lot of good DC out there, but I know I really dove into everything when New 52 came out, because I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna read all this. And it was a soft relaunch, and it was good. Like Animal Man was done really good. I liked Animal Man a lot. And Constantine Dark, what was it, Justice League Dark was really, really good with Constantine. I think Constantine's probably really good up there for me. That makes sense. But yeah, I really liked the Agents of Shade. They made that into a cartoon. I liked it. It was in the comics it was a lot more like Hellboy in a way. But yeah, there was just putting out my there might be bias, that's all.
Like, both have projects I love and projects I hate. So I'm pretty unbiased. If it isn't Impound Comics, I'm not being biased towards it. First one
It's
says
true.
that Marvel
It's
has
true.
better anti-heroes.
It's true.
I'm on hook.
Why?
Agree or
It's true.
I'm on.
Why?
Ag-
It's true. Far as like there are things I hate in Marvel. That's not a secret. But if we're talking about films, is where I'll get more in the heated debate. But comics, I think both have horrible flaws. In comics, they have really great moments and great ideas. So I mean, that's an easier one for me to judge next to the movies. But who knows? This is maybe like global answering. I think it's an anti-hero.
Agree or disagree? Facts that DC fans need to accept. Which I start. I don't know the projects I love.
Yeah.
That Marvel has better anti-heroes.
anti-heroes.
With this, I absolutely agree. When I even try.
I mean, if you're counting like Hulk as an anti-hero, I guess he's an anti-hero. Wolverine, I really think Hulk and Wolverine fall under heroes, I feel like. I don't know, because anti-hero is like Punisher in a way. Like, he's a hero, but he's doing it like the wrong way. Like, Cap doesn't want you on the team, and Cap doesn't want Punisher on the team. Hulk, Ghost Rider, Wolverine they're showing. I guess it's more like they're looking at like edgy heroes. I don't really think of them as anti-heroes, as I think anti-heroes is a different way. Like, I almost want to pull out a list and be like, what is an anti-hero considered in Marvel and DC? Because DC's anti-heroes is like, what would you put? Like, I'm gonna look at this real quick. What would you put for DC anti-hero? Because first thing I come up with would be Batman's anti-hero, but it's like, no, he's not. I'm just thinking he's a dark hero. DC anti-heroes, they're giving me Red Hood. That makes sense. Catwoman makes sense. John Constantine, I could get behind that. Black Adam, kind of. Harley Quinn now, yeah. Lobo now, yeah. Peacemaker, relevant now. Jonah Hex, Suicide Squad, Secret Six. Those kind of make sense. Let me see what they say for Marvel. What people would categorize as Marvel anti-heroes. Let's see. Punisher always on top. Moon Knight? Maybe. Just they say because his methods are violent. Wolverine because he's cursed and redeemed. Because he does what needs to get done. I guess because he crosses that line. Venom is up there, and that makes sense because Venom truly was like a villain, and he switched around and was a hero, but he's got like tendencies where he'll bite your head off still and do that. Deadpool, Blade, Winter Soldier, Magneto, Namor. I mean, if you're naming off all these guys, it has to be Marvel, because I feel like they're digging in a bigger bag for Marvel. But I just think it's really hard to categorize an anti-hero on the limits of how we see them and how they are portraying themselves in a way. Like, I guess, like, Black Adam, for me, I don't feel him as an anti-hero, but I guess he does help sometimes. Magneto, I don't really think he's an anti-hero. He's an anti-hero to maybe the mutants that are on his side, but in all actuality, he does think he's doing good, but he will do bad to humans and the Homo sapiens. He will do bad things to them, but protect, the mutant race. So that's kind of like bigotry, I guess, in a way. So I wouldn't say that's anti-human. He's not saving everybody. He's just saving like a portion of people. So I don't know. You could go deeper with Magneto. Deadpool, I guess, anti-hero, just because, again, anyone crossing the line, I guess they're going with. And there's a lot of superheroes that do. Punisher, I just feel it just because I guess he's the most decorative anti-hero. Like, he don't want to be called a hero. That's Punisher in a nutshell. So I guess for sure Marvel then, because DC's was kind of hard. Like they call Lobo it. I like Lobo a lot. I think Lobo. I'm excited for Supergirl just for Lobo alone. People are already trying to hate on it, and I think that's really stupid. But yeah. But I guess we have to go Marvel.
How to think of DC anti-heroes? The first thing that comes to my head is Red Hood, which I love, and Catwoman. See, I know some people will say Deathstroke. I do not consider Deathstroke an anti-hero. Maybe an anti-villain, but more of a villain. But like these four right here alone. Come on, goated. Doom and Magneto are better than most DC villains.
Ooh, this is the one to get people in fights over. Man, because being a Marvel dude, I automatically think Doom and Magneto are great villains. But I gotta take my head out, and then who will be your top 4 DC? Joker is going to be one of them. Lex Luthor is going to be one of them. And I mean, you could do Black Adam. But I'm trying to think of like Brainiac, like pure domination, like the level of Doom. Like, this dude is badass. He will take out everybody. He has no fear. And the other guy's like, I will take on the world, and I will crush anyone in my way with my magnetic powers. Lex Luthor is pretty high up there for me, though. He's on the villainy. I don't know how you say that, but the way he thinks is on the level of Doom, like untouchable. But Doom's just a lot cooler because of the look. Even Lex in the suit, Doom because of the look, his vibe, the words he says, the way he's written. It's just hard to compete with that. And then Joker's a really good villain. But I think it's more... I wish I would have put up examples, because instead of just being pro-Marvel on their pictures. Jeez. Yeah, because Joker's, I think, one of the most iconic villains out there. I would say Joker's more iconic than these, for sure. If you show Grandma and Grandpa a picture of Magneto, Doom, and Joker, if they're not familiar with comics, they're going to pick out the Jokers. I mean, the Joker's more well-known. But does that make him better? Motives? Not really, because he's just there to make chaos. But that's kind of the cool thing about him, is he just doesn't care. I don't want to give it to Marvel again, but I think Doom and Magneto are better than DC villains. I'm sorry.
I do not agree with this one.
Ooh, what did you have to say?
I absolutely love Magneto, and I like Doom a lot. I don't love him as much as some people do, but I do have a lot of love and respect for the character Doom. But I'd personally probably take half of Gotham's villains over these two.
Ooh,
and it said most.
Ooh, that's a bad take. Batman villains are sick. They are so dope. That's probably one of my favorite things about reading Batman is him solving the cases against these villains. Any thing they do with it, if it's the show Gotham, if it's a cartoon anime series, when they use the villains well, or even just throw them in there, you get more excited to watch it. You get more excited if one of your like low key, I like Clayface, or I like Killer Croc, and they show up. It's just cool. Like Batman 66, is that what it was back in the old days? It's not the 70s, it's 60s, I believe. Favorite episodes, like watching that as a kid, it was way older than me, but when they had a really cool villain on it, like not King Tut, not Egghead, but when Penguin showed up or Riddler showed up, like that's when it was dope, like so dope. And Batman's villains are just sick. Like it'll be the hard battle is Spider-Man's villains against Batman's villains. Their rogue galleries would be hard. I'd have to line them all up and really, really think hard. Because, I mean, on the King and the top of both of those is Joker and Green Goblin. Like, come on, man. Like, I still think I'd probably give it to the Joker. But, man, it's just, they're too good. But saying a better villain, I don't think you could mess with Magneto's story arc at all. In Doom stories, period, that he's gone through. From with his mom, going through hell, Secret Wars. You can't put Mad Hatter against that. I'm sorry. You can't. Bane doesn't compare to that depth. It just doesn't. Like, I love Bane. Bane, I've dressed up as him for Halloween many times because I'm big Mexican and I can wear a luchador mask. But yeah, I don't know how that even could be the factor. Just putting up the Batman villains. Because I was thinking more iconic villains, and they're iconic in their own, where they're well known in Batman. But far as like being like a better villain or maybe a threat, if we're going off threats, there's not many threats in the Batman rogues that are a threat like Doom and Magneto. Magneto shows up to Gotham, you're done. Doom shows up to Gotham, you're done. It's just the way it is. And I hate to say it because I love Batman's rogue gallery. So cool, man. But yeah, I can't go with that.
That's so many to pick off of, but like, I'm taking Joker, Two-Face, and Penguin for sure. A lot of people will say Reverse Flash. I would also take Doomsday, and I love Zod.
You blame me?
Agree or disagree? Fact that DC hero may be an anti-villain. Most DC villains. Absolutely. I don't love him as much as some people do, but I do have a lot of love and respect for the character. But like,
Doomsday just like shows up, and like, I mean, I know he's been back here and there, but it's not like an iconic, better than this character type of villain. Like, Doomsday can't even compete with the Mad Hatter, like I mentioned. Mad Hatter has a better story arc than Doomsday being a beaten-up baby tested on, and it's just...
I'm taking Joker, Two-Face, and Penguin for sure. To say taking
Two-Face and Penguin over Doom and Magneto is just crazy to me. Are they cool characters? Hell yeah. Like, Two-Face is amazing, dude. I love Two-Face. Penguin's kind of hit or miss sometimes for me. When they, lean into the more mobster thing, I get that. But you're crazy thinking that, like, Two-Face and Penguin are on the level of Magneto and Doom, either power or popularity or even character development. There's just no way. You just can't. There's no way.
Say Reverse Flash. I would also take Doomsday, and I love Zod and Lex as well. I love Black Adam too. So, I disagree. Spider-Man is the most relatable superhero.
I think you can't do Batman because that's way too dark. Batman's almost crazy. It's like you can't relate to Punisher. You shouldn't relate to Punisher or Batman because they're mentally not stable the way they do things. But I'm trying to think of the equivalent in DC. Like, Superman isn't relatable. Yeah, it's really... I think that's one of the hardest things with DC comics growing up reading them. They were so put in, like, the eye of, like, a lot of Kirby characters from the early characters, like, the space ones. Like, ones he'd even do for Marvel. The actor and whatever they were. They were always godly, like... the new gods, and so to me, DC made it really Marvel was more grounded at times. When they did space stuff, it was like going outside their bubble and it was a bigger mission or whatever for that character. DC, it was like, it's a Monday, dude. Green Lantern's handling crap in space. Superman's knocking someone in space. You know, it's just a lot different going on. But the most relatable, I think there's nothing you could compete with Spider-Man. Not in DC. This isn't fair to DC. This isn't fair. These facts or these comparable things is not fair to them. Who else can you compare? Like Flash? But it's like Parker Luck, man. We've all been there with the Parker Luck. We've all seen the girl we like get with the jock. We've all have our struggles to make rent. We've all had our Uncle Ben get shot in the alley. No, we've all like been through those struggles that Peter Parker has, not Spider-Man so much. So I have no choice but to say Spider-Man. There's nothing I could think of. Even other Marvel characters, it'd be really hard to dig around who you could relate to. It's just tough.
For a lot of people, yes. And depending on who you're asking, yes, people can agree with this. Me personally, no, he's not.
What do you got?
I'm standing on the Static Shock kill. Yeah.
Static Shock? I don't know. Relatable? Don't make this a race thing. First of all. I'm thinking like what he's been through and stuff. Like, he doesn't worry about paying the rent, you know. He doesn't worry about getting on time to date the girl, and he doesn't get the girl. I still think Spider-Man. That's an okay take, but I think it's still crazy.
I'm more closely related to Static Shock, so for me, Static is on top. Marvel has a much better cinematic universe.
Why are they even throwing this in here, man? This isn't fair to DC at all. Not fair to DC. DC, EU, whatever you want to call it. If they're counting what they have now, they only have like Peacemaker, Superman, Clayface is coming out. I mean, there's not much going on. If you want to go back to the other stuff that I really don't like, it's just not fair. Marvel's been on a roll, and the slumps, the downs we've had have been still around, not as low as how DC has gone. Like, DC's best were like close to there's some that are better than Marvel lows. I'll take that back, because there's some that I do like better than some Marvel lows. But yeah, you can't compare. It's not fair. This whole thing is not fair to DC at all.
Worse than DC. I mean, that one's a no-brainer. If you disagree with that one, you're just kind of hating. I feel like DC fans even have to admit this. Marvel has smarter heroes than DC.
Ooh. So, like, Marvel's ranking of smartest people is always interesting, because they change it all the time. Always change it all the time. But it's really interesting, because sometimes I'm like blown away, like how low someone is. Like, off the bat, like Doctor Doom's usually up to the top a lot of times. Then they'll knock him down with Moon Girl. And I get that. I get that it's a new character that they made that was really smart and this and that. But let's just look. Smartest. It popped up Marvel characters already. They know what's on my mind. The computer reads you. Moon Girl, they're giving the official title of the smartest character, closely followed by Reed Richards, Victor Von Doom. So the top tier is a lot in the Fantastic Four family: Reed, then Doom, Valerie, Tony Stark, Bruce Banner, Amadeus Cho. Amadeus is up there. Hank Pym. That's kind of not that much of a list to brag about, though, because we're talking like they have Beast up there, but I know Beast is smart, but he's not on the level of Reed at all. Even Hank Pym, I think he's nowhere near Hank Pym. But DC, the villains, though. The villains is where it's at, I think. They have Metron, one of the new gods. Charles, I don't. Oh, he's in the Mobius chair. That dude. Okay, yeah. All the knowledge of the cosmos. Brainiac. That's why first thing I thought of when they said the smartest was Brainiac. Lex Luthor. Yeah, God, man, Lex Luthor. Yeah, yeah. Lex Luthor's not really super powered up, and he's pretty. Now, was Moon Girl smarter than him? Yeah, but who's got the most? I mean, I'm thinking more DC. Mr. Terrific's up there. Batman's up there because Batman's really smart at what he does. He's done a lot on his own. I mean, who's building the Batmobiles and all his electronics and stuff like that? He's got to be like Tony Stark level of thinking in a way. Not all the way up to Tony Stark. I'm not going to say he's like that level. He's not, he doesn't know how to break down atoms and stuff like that. But he definitely is just a regular dude that just didn't get a degree or anything, but he knows how to do stuff. I don't know. I think it falls more maybe in the villains. I want to give DC something. Like, this isn't really fair. But I think Brainiac being up there, I just wonder how Brainiac compares to Moon Girl. It's a really dumb argument though, because there's so many smart people. But I don't know. I'll give it to DC because I don't like that they just wrapped up Marvels with basically top 3 or 4 have Fantastic Four characters in it, which is Reed is smart, Doom, Valeria. I'm sorry, but yeah, yeah, that one's tough. But I'm going with DC because I think the villains kind of take the win on that one.
Yeah. Overall, when we talk about in terms of actual heroes, I think DC kind of more focuses on smart villains.
Oh, we're talking about heroes? Oh, man. Sorry, Marvel wins smartest heroes. Yeah, as I was saying, the villains are probably smarter in DC. I'm sorry, but heroes, DC, man.
I think Marvel, too. Agree?
God, that sucks, man. I do like Marvel more than DC, but I do like to look at things unbiased, and that one sucked, dude. I feel like that was set up to fail. That really sucked. Going to OBS, turn this off, not editing. We'll put it up later. Bye, guys.